Hi everyone, welcome to session 4, our last session together for now, playing with postures. For this session, you're going to need some props, a couple pillows. I've got 4 from my couch, a couple of blankets, a chair, your yoga mat, and a wall or a door or cupboard, like a big pantry door, so that you will be able to lean into a wall or something safely. As always, we want to check in and get in our bodies. So you'll take a seat, let your feet be connected to the ground, your seat, feel the support. Maybe you have the chair at your back so you feel tall and supported there. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or have a soft gaze. Let your hands rest on your thighs, palms up or palms down. And we'll begin with this breathing technique that brings me to center, and that helps me come into balance. It's a go-to if you're feeling out of sorts or just out of balance in life or in your body. We know these times happen, and we can use breath as a wonderful tool. And as you notice your body breathing, the parts that we've spoken about in the earlier sessions, the belly, the chest, the low back, the upper back, the sides, thinking about your whole torso, inhaling and exhaling, and not forcing, just breathing with curiosity over control. But we will begin to count the breath. So we will inhale for count 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Same length, inhale and exhale. If 4 is not a good number for you, choose 3 or 2 or 5. Any number is perfect that's good for you. Breathing in and out of the nose, the body is aware and tall and relaxed. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. As you continue, notice if your count becomes rushed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We come to yoga to unrush. So let's take several rounds counting the breath silently to yourself, inhaling and exhaling for the same number. Notice if your mind wandered, come back to your breath and maybe add a little smile. A few more rounds, stay connected. And release the counting. Softly, you can blink your eyes open. Notice how you feel. I love that breath. No matter what number, the creating of the balance, inhale and exhale, really helps me come into balance, into my center. So I hope you find that same benefit. All right, let's start playing with posture seated. So here we are in a chair. I'm going to come a little bit forward so I have some space. And I just want to talk about the ideal posture, not the rigid have to, should be posture, but the ideal posture for breath, for seated, maybe when you're working, or maybe when you're meeting with somebody on Zoom or in person. We have our head on top of our rib cage, on top of our pelvis. So the spine is in its natural place of neutral with its natural curves. And our breath, which we know makes a difference and helps us get to calm, our breath muscle, the respiratory diaphragm, lives inside the bottom of your rib cage. So when you're in this ideal posture, your breath can also be ideal. And we want that. So if I'm slumped over, there is nothing wrong with this posture, but I don't get the breath that I would like to get. Maybe I'm not even that approachable. So I just notice when I'm grounded in my seat, pelvis, rib cage, head, that I'm kind of open and ready for life. And my breath has room to do what it needs to do. Breathe in and out. Now it's nice in yoga when we do twists and back bends and movements that challenge the breathing pattern, and that's fine and lovely, and we learn so much from those, but this is maybe ideal posture and breathing. Breathing in and out of the nose every so often. In my yoga classes, I'll just encourage people to exhale out of their mouth to let go. What do you need to let go of today? Now, when we think about our beautiful head, our noggin, sitting on top of our rib cage, I feel tall, but oftentimes I'm busy working and I end up looking at the screen or I'm looking at my phone and my head ends up out here. When this happens, kind of everything in my middle also gets a little bit wah wah. When I bring my head back to the ideal placement, suddenly my center, my back, my sides, everything comes into that alignment and there's a little lifting, there's a little support. We like this. So we remember that everything affects everything. My head forward, everything just, my head over my body, and we feel supported. Now here seated, I have my feet on the ground. My hip is out to my knee is down to my ankle, and my feet touch the ground. This is great for working, but it is not illegal to cross a leg, do some work. Just give your other leg an opportunity as well, coming into balance. So you might even sit in a thread the needle shape working. Give the other leg a chance. Most importantly, our best posture, our ideal posture, is our next posture. What does that mean? That means here we are seated, so let's stand. We come up to stand. You can put your chair off to the side for a moment. Now I'm in the best posture. It's new. My body can breathe differently. I've got some new surroundings. There's an energy shift. So your next posture is your best posture. Best posture, next posture. From seated, we had head, rib cage, pelvis. Now we add standing, outer hip, outer knee, outer ankle, down to my feet. Arms can rest at my side, but I'm not rigid. I want a comfortable place to be in my tall best posture. My ideal posture, my mountain pose. In yoga, it's called Tadasana, mountain pose. So I'm strong, like a mountain. I'm rooted down, but I can deal with weather. There's some clouds, some sunshine, some rain, a thunderstorm, some snow. I can deal with the weather. I am a mountain, Tadasana. But like nature, I can move and I can shift and I can be in my body in a way that feels peaceful, grounded and peaceful, tall and aware and ready for life. Remember our head. It loves to sneak forward. So one thing that we'll do with our wall, you can come close to your wall. The buttocks touches the wall. My heels are about 3 inches, 4 inches away from the wall. And I can adjust that. You'll know just right. The butt touches. And then you can reach your head, the back of your head, back toward the wall. It may not get there, but you'll feel shoulders, muscles, neck muscles working to keep you upright. And you'll notice again this feeling of support and lift. And if I let it sink forward, everything just starts to get a little bit, I'm so tired. Oh, now I'm awake, I'm alive and well. Ready. So we breathe here. Optimum breathing. I've made space. Respiratory diaphragm, it's doing its work. Belly is breathing, chest, low back, upper back, side body. Tadasana mountain pose. Take your skull back toward the wall. It's like a double chin, everyone's favorite. So let's give a big smile for double chin. It's all right because we're allowed to have skin. Yes. What a good thing. We have a smile and we have a double chin. Okay, so you can do that anytime you feel like you've spent too much time seated. Stand up, switch your posture, and consider taking the back of your head back toward the wall. And definitely you can look in the mirror and say, Tadasana. All right, best posture, next posture. We're going to sit at the wall. So your butt, your back, your shoulders will be on the wall. Your legs, make sure you're on your mat or you have a solid floor so you don't slide. Now you can bring your leg into a 90-degree angle where your knee is right above your ankle. That can be really low, or you can do a little bit less than that, but I want you to press your body into the wall. Now my skull can touch the wall, the back of my head, the shoulders, the back of my upper back touching the wall, low back, maybe has a little natural curve, right? The lumbar curve. But I'm using the wall, pelvis pressing into the wall, heels pressing down into the ground. This is strength in a good posture. Strengthening while the spine's in neutral. And there's plenty of room for breath. Maybe your feet scoot out a little more and you sit a little deeper, but push into the wall. Pushing into the wall. I should tell you how to come out in case you need to come out. Push the hips back, use your hands, squeeze your butt, and come up. Okay, let's come back one more time. Using the wall to make us stronger. Pressing into the wall, pressing down into the heels. This time, if you'd like, remember our rib cage, our thoracic spine is connected to our shoulders. So see what it's like to flex, taking your arms up, keeping your back on the wall. Legs are working, and you're breathing and you're smiling. This is such good work. And then when you need to come out, you lean forward, but keep your pelvis pressing into the wall. Hands press, squeeze your butt, push off the wall. Feel your legs. Feel your beating heart. Take a double chin. Feel that. Tadasana. So seated posture, standing posture, wall sit. These are all postures. In yoga, we call them asanas. Other postures that I like to consider for a healthy body, a healthy back, are postures that I like to do. Movements, maybe hula hooping, walking, bowling, jogging, mowing the lawn, stretching, strengthening, weightlifting, hugging a tree. Postures. So again, it's not only about I need to stand a certain way, 1,000,000% engaged. It's comfortable, it's grounded, there's breath, and you're allowed to move and come back and move and come back. When I was little, my mom would get on me about standing like this. One hip out, hand on my hip, this other leg out. So now when I find myself doing that, I have a good memory of my mom, which I love, and then I switch and I see how it feels on the other side. So maybe you have some habits that you can explore that are only one-sided. You can give your other side an opportunity. Now, let's actually put the chair, well, I'm going to move the mat forward. So I'm going to come away from the wall a little bit and put the chair on the mat. So it's another variation of seated position, but this is probably my favorite. You'll come down. You can have a blanket to support your head or a pillow. And you bring your legs up onto the chair seat. Now I have a yoga chair here. Any chair works. You're going to just come down, get your butt close to the chair, and take your legs onto the chair. You do not want to have to hold your legs. The chair is holding your legs for you. And then you notice your arms can rest by your sides, palms up or palms down, and your spine is in this neutral place. So here I am. I've got head, rib cage, pelvis. All of us have different pillow preferences. So just notice, if I take a huge pillow, my head is now not really in alignment. But if this is what works for me, then this is what works for me. But maybe also I can begin to play with going a little bit lower and finding head, rib cage, pelvis. Here we get to let the legs rest. I call this pose not just legs on a chair, but take a load off. I think it's kind of magical. When my low back is bothering me, I'll set a timer for 8 to 15 minutes. And I'll close my eyes. I might listen to some beautiful music, soothing music, or I'll just observe my breath. And I find it so soothing. You could also do legs up the wall or legs on a couch. You just want to make sure that it's not full of effort, This is a place where you can be supported. Not always easy to accept support, but that's what you're doing here. All right, let's take one more breath and then we'll come into another posture. You can bring your legs off your chair and roll to the side and gently press yourself up. Your chair can get out of the way now because the posture I want to play with now, they've all become my favorite because they feel so good in my body and when I need extra healing on my backside. So legs on a chair, now child's pose. This is not always the best for me when my back is bothering me, but I'll show you how I make it work and then I'll show you an alternative. So get your pillows. Child's pose, usually knees wide, big toes to touch, pardon my chair noise. And we come down, all the way down, forehead to the mat. I don't find that joyful all the time. It doesn't make me smile. It makes my hips feel sad sometimes, and even my back. So, adding pillows and coming out over the pillows, and then I would add a couple pillows so that I have a place to rest my head. This now brings me some joy. I feel, again, supported. I can breathe, I can rest, and I can be still. This takes practice. Maybe another workshop, I could just do child's pose. We could spend about 3 hours just building a child's pose. But you learn to take blankets, pillows, blocks, and create balasana, child's pose, that works for you. And it could be different each day, but that's the beauty of the practice. You start to learn and know what to do for your body. If I just don't want to do child's pose on a certain day, then I come out over a blanket, maybe a bolster if you have a yoga bolster, or another pillow like a longer one from your bed. I put my pelvis on the blanket. I stack my hands and make a pillow and rest my forehead on my hands. You will know when you get in these positions, these postures, that it's right because your body will take an exhale. You'll feel that. It's like you dropped right into the posture. That's how we rest. That's how we recover. That's how we give ourselves time to heal when we need healing. And we call that pose crocodile. I don't know why. So I never understood that one. And then you come up carefully, and let's play now with fetal pose. Ideally, you could do this on your couch, on your bed, but we're going to be on the mat. I'm going to unfold a blanket, give myself an extra cush for my hip, and take a couple of pillows for behind my body. I'm going to smush myself right up close, have these other pillows, one for my head and one for my legs, and perhaps another blanket or pillow for the front arm. So, coming down, lying on your side body. I tuck the pillow right in so that I'm supported here. The pillow between my legs feels great. Now my pelvis is kind of even, and the pillows behind support me, which is why the couch or the bed is really great. You could use so many pillows and blankets. And then this other blanket or pillow can come right here for my other arm. How do I need it to be? Oh, that's it. I had that exhale. And you just breathe, fetal pose. This is another great one for a timer. And I notice when I have legs up the chair, you know, you're open. When I'm in fetal, it's a little more closed. It's a little more cozy. So depending on what kind of mood I'm in, I just might need to be like in this little cocoon. And this kind of feels like that. I built, you can see it on Instagram, but I built in my bathtub a pose like this one day, fetal pose in the tub. Tons of pillows and blankets, and the tub held everything in place. And I just got in there and then covered up with another blanket, and then the puppies joined, which was really, I'm going to say, blissful. So give yourself permission to have times like that. Breathing in and breathing out of the nose, and every so often, if you need to let go, out of the mouth. Sadly, we have to come up, but you don't have to. You could just press pause and be here, and then press play later on when you're ready. But we'll come up and we'll build Shavasana, final relaxation pose or corpse pose. I'll move my glasses out of the way here. Shavasana, like child's pose, really like any asana, any poses or postures in yoga, are personal. Our bodies are different and unique. So learning what feels good to you and then building that. Sometimes it's nice to just lie down on your mat without any props at all. Mostly, I want a pillow for under my head, not too tall so that I'm out here, but a place where I can feel length and support. And I like pillows underneath my thighs. I like the pillows close to the buttocks. Some folks like them down under the knees and under the lower legs. This depends on what's going on in my lumbar spine, the low back. So you can come down, you lie down, you stretch your legs out. The support is really nice. You could also just bend your knees if that feels better for Shavasana. But for resting, you want to make sure there's not effort. So if you were to bend your knees, maybe you would let the knees fall together so you don't have to hold the legs. Any kind of pillow or bolster under the thighs, find where it's just right for you. The legs go out. I imagine a relaxation and a softening, if you will, at the hip crease. This is an area that is in flexion, folded so much. So here, there's time and space for relaxation. I imagine this area breathing, my hip creases, and I know we're breathing in and out with the lungs, but I like this visualization. Your arms rest by your sides, palms up or down, and you want to get any props that are in the way out of the way so you can settle in. Some folks like to tuck the shoulder blades under. I do a little tuck and then a little untuck. Find the Goldilocks just right. And then you give yourself time to arrive. So each exhale, the body settles and finds and allows that support that we were talking about earlier. And really, for some of us, it's hard work to allow support. So it's a practice. And we get better by practicing. So rest. Now you could also take this pose right into your bed, and you could sleep with something under your legs like this in your bed. You could do fetal pose for sleeping with a pillow under your head and a pillow between the thighs. And you can stay here and rest as long as you'd like. I'm going to come up to sit by bending the knees and rolling to the side and pressing up. You can come into your chair if you're seated, or just sit on your mat. I'm so thankful and appreciative of your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for smiling in your spine, learning about your back body through gentle yoga and mindful movement, for playing with postures, for remembering that it's not rigid, it's comfortable. And I'll just leave you with this. We remember the three big things from the beginning. Breathing creates calm, and we just navigate life better, and our physical bodies and mental bodies ready more effectively when we come from a place of calm. Breathing creates calm. Aches and pains are just information. They tell your body whether you need some movement, you need some rest, or some of both. And 3, you are a whole being. You are unique. You are whole. And what works for you may not work for me, but I hope that you gathered some tools for your toolbox here to feel good on your backside for those times when the back is not smiling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring your hands to your heart. You can bow your head in. And I look forward to meeting again someday soon. Take great care of yourselves. Namaste. Thank you.